Hello, this is Survival-gyver, and today we're taking a look at the Rocktol Gen R. This is a brand new multi-tool that debuted September 1st, 2024, which is today. I've had it in my possession for a couple of weeks, putting it through its paces, and so we're going to take a look at it. This is a tool that I like. I swear they designed it for me in mind, so I'm going to talk about it. There's a couple of minor issues. All tools have issues of some sort. So it is what it is, right? But so this is the box you would get it in. There's a Rocktol on it. Do a quick look on the inside here. I'm gonna pull this out from the bottom because I can't open the top. So knife would sit in there, right? So it comes with a sheath with a black button on it, which is nice. Really nicely done for the sheath. But I want to show you before I get too far in it. There's some extra bits in here, some little precision bits, flathead, Phillips, and Torx. So that sits in a little inner pocket right there. Okay. And on the inside is a manual. Of course, I recommend reading it. So it tells you how to open it up, how to use the scissors, how to use the knives, and there's all the functions, which we'll be going over, and it comes with a 5-year warranty. So that's good stuff, right? Throw this back in here. If I cough a little bit, my apologies. I'm getting over bronchitis. So if you see a pause in the video, it's probably me coughing my brains out. So just as a heads up. Otherwise, I don't do editing in any of these videos. So this sits in at a whole 9.7 ounces. So it's light. It's much lighter than a lot of other multi-tools. You can see it's got the Gen R there, Rocktol. And it's on that side as well. It's really comfortable. You know how a lot of the multi-tools are sharp around the edges? This is comfortable to handle and to hold. It has a titanium coating on it. It's not a titanium steel, but a titanium coating. So it's more wear resistant. Less chances of scratches and gouges and things of that nature. It has a pocket clip, which appears that you can reverse it. I haven't tried, but seeing where that little notch is and that, it looks like you can turn around to the opposite side. So I don't know for sure, but that's what it looks like. So this tool has something new for Rocktol. Specifically, sorry, I coughed there for a little bit. Specifically, it's a new steel for the blade. So let's see. Oops, wrong blade. We'll get to that shortly. This blade is now VG10 steel, which is a Japanese steel. All right, so this is a nice, really sharp blade. Nice design, nice profile to it. So it's got really good edge retention, and it's strong. So this is typically used in Japanese cutlery. So it's definitely up there as a decent blade material. This is considerably better than some of the more known brands like Leatherman that use a lesser quality steel. So you have a nice Japanese steel on a Chinese multi-tool, which is kind of cool. So at least you know that they're trying to do quality. On the inside here is a liner lock. Press it down, you can close it. We're going to open up this side. This side is the saw, and it's a wood saw. And it's got some really aggressive blades on it. Really, really sharp. Same thing, has a liner lock. The only downside to the saw is opening it. Like there's no, you have to push up on this just enough where you can get your finger around this notch in order to get the rest of it up. It would be nice if they, since they had to grind this out anyway, if they just left a little notch in here that you can be able to pry up with easier. Okay. On this side, we have a serrated blade, again with a liner lock, and a hook, so like a package opener, or for cutting cordage. My apologies, is a little bit dirty. If you look carefully, There's a little bit of material left from the grinding process. It didn't seem to affect, there's a little bit of like slag or material left in there in the bottom of the hook blade. I found out that during use, any of that loose scale that was in there has come off, but you may notice that on yours. So it happens, right? Again, we get it to focus, liner lock, close that down, and this side is the scissors. These are a pretty big beefy set of scissors. Now you'll notice like right now it doesn't do anything, so you have to open up the blade completely till it snaps from the liner lock. Then this will work. And this is a really strong, decently thick and pretty large size scissor. It'll cut paracord, it'll cut paper, it'll cut cardboard, it'll cut zip ties, it'll cut all sorts of things. Now there's a little thing here. If you were left-handed, you will probably find out that this is pretty comfortable because you got the tool here, and you'll see where my thumb is. See that edge right at where your thumb rests? Well, for left-handed people, it's rounded. Right-handed people, it sits more outwards, and you're sitting on a sharp edge. If I can get this to focus, would be great. There we go. That sharp 90 degree bend there is actually quite sharp. So if you're right-handed and you have to force down on something that might be a little bit thicker than this is made for, like an industrial zip tie or some really thick webbing, you may end up cutting your thumb. So yeah, because you'd see, I don't get to my finger that far. Yeah, so it poked into my thumb a little bit. Easy fix if you want. You can just take a file and file it down. Although, I suppose if you didn't, you could probably use it as a ferrocerium striker because it's that sharp. But other than that, it's not a deal breaker for me. It just, just so you know it's there. Press the liner lock again so I can close this. Move the spring over, flatten that down, and it sits on the inside. So those are the four main tools there. On this side, you have a really nice, you can actually see how it winds up, gripping end on the needle nose pliers, and it does come to a nice solid point at the end, so it does grip quite well at the end. Those really fine tasks, moving contacts on a battery charger I had to use it for recently and such. It does have a hardened cutter, so if you're cutting wire, you can cut wire with it just fine. And there's a little notch on the end as well to cut stuff that's a little bit thicker, and they are replaceable bits. Cutting blades, they are replaceable. The mechanism is smooth. There is no grinding noise, there's no clunking, there's no screeching or anything of that nature. So nice and solid there. There is no flex of the head. Now if I try to move this back and forth like some of the Gerbers I've shown, and I think I showed a Leatherman too that had so much play in the mechanism, and this is quite solid. This is really, really nice. Other than me getting my fingerprints all over it, it is really nice. So what else do we have here? We've already talked about the blade being VG10, so you know that's good stuff. But what else is in here? Well, there's a standard and metric ruler on here. We'll go through all these tools shortly. And metric and standard as well on that side, and a bit driver. So if you look carefully, that starts off at 1 inch. That starts off at 0 centimeters. Well, it doesn't actually start off at 1 inch. 1 inch is there, but instead of saying 0, it says 1. But whatever. Minor inconvenience for one of the few companies or countries in the world that actually use the imperial system. It doesn't surprise me that they mislabel it once in a while. That's okay. So inch and centimeter. And if you flip this over, here it starts at 4 inches, goes to like 7 1/4. And here we got 10 centimeter, a little before 10 millimeter, I'm sorry, 10 millimeter. So that's a centimeter to 18. So how do you measure with this thing? Well, actually it's pretty neat. This is the only one I've seen that the measurements are relatively accurate. I say relatively because they're off about a millimeter. I wouldn't use it for precision machining. Oh, you line up the edge there, close the blade. This is really hard for me to do on camera without being able to see what I'm looking at. So you pretty much want to make those straight. As long as you make it straight, they line up. Now here's the hard part. I tried to do this in a previous setup here, to line up the ruler and this, but I can't see what I'm doing over the screen. But yeah, so from 0, bring it all the way down, it does line up with 18. So that's pretty good. Now standard is a little difficult because I pretty much have to have my big plastic ruler upside down. But if the ruler is upside down, it still lines up with the marks. It's a little off because I'm struggling to be able to do this with the camera in the way. But they're accurate. I mean, they're within a couple thou. They're close enough. I said they're not for machining, but it's definitely close enough to do decent measuring with it if you needed to. So let's take a look at what's on here, right? On the inside here, we have a bit driver. Still not magnetic, but, you know, I was hoping they put a magnetic one in, but they haven't. But it's not the end of the world. This is a bowl detent. So there it is. So it goes with the rest of the bits in the set. We've got a PH1 and a 3/16 flat. It's right in there. And there you go. That holds it in. You'll notice that you can't get that to move anywhere because there's a lock on here. You press this down, releases the lock, and then you can close it. Sorry about that, I coughed. Okay, on this side, we have a whole bunch of little stuff in on this side. Let's open up this little pack here. There's another one in there that I can't quite reach. There we go. So let's go through all these lovely tools. And there's a couple of nifty ones. So we have a diamond file on this big one here with a, well, you could probably use it as a flathead screwdriver. And you have a regular file on this side. So that's kind of cool. All right. We have an awl, which is a little bit of a blunt end, but it's still sharp enough. It'll easily go through leather with the hole. So if you need to fix leather goods, you have an awl. You put the thread through and, you know, all that good stuff. This thing, this is actually really nice because I asked for it. They had another model that had just a small, thin flathead screwdriver for like glass repair, for glasses, sunglasses, regular glasses. And this nifty little mechanism with a spring in it is a precision screwdriver. So there's Phillips head, and if you pull this out, the other side is flathead. All you do is, in this case I'm going to flip it around, push it down, and that little spring gives it the tension, and that's it. So now you have a precision flathead driver. This has become super useful for me because I'm always losing the eyeglass screwdrivers. I lose them all the time for my reading glasses and for my sunglasses. So this has been invaluable. This is an excellent tool, and I hope that in the future they'll have bits that'll have like a micro torque, like a T2 or T3, something like that in there, for some of the smaller knives that I work with. But that is really nice. That's been super useful so far to me. Next up is a larger flathead driver. You could also use it for prying, but I know they don't recommend it as a pry, but you could if you needed to. And of course, you'll just hear it click. I just locked it finally. So you got your bottle opener, can opener, and that's a wire stripper. And of course, to release this, you just hit this button on the back, and then you can close that as well. So, what is my thoughts about this tool? This works out very, very well for me. It's comfortable in the hand. You know, there's I'm squeezing this pretty hard and it's barely budging. There's no flex. Typically in this position, if there was flex in that joint for the head, this would be moving all over the place, and it's not. It's quite solid. It opens and closes smoothly. In this case, it lines up. Still almost no movement from it. In this case, it doesn't surprise me if there was movement because you're using leverage. But that's nice and solid, nice and steady there. So, in my book, this is an excellent multi-tool for the price. And for the price, what is the price? It's about $55. That's not bad. That is, so you're talking about a budget multi-tool that is equal or better than some of the higher-end brands. With a 5-year warranty, 9.7 ounces, so it's lightweight. Of course, you got the wire cutters, the wire strippers, you got screwdrivers, you got the sheath with more screwdriver bits. You have what looks to be a reversible pocket clip. I haven't tried it, but it looks like it has it. Of course, you have the really good, I don't know which side this is. Nope, it's the wrong side. You have the really good steel, the Japanese VG10 steel, stainless steel, in a nice blade design. Super friggin' sharp, and there's no play. There's no play in any direction. It's solid. It doesn't bend. It doesn't move in the hinges, which I see on a lot of multi-tools. If I pull the hook side of it out, lock it in place, there's no movement. I know that the focus would be great. Come on, focus. There we go. There is no movement, no flex. That is solid. Excuse me. I didn't get the camera in time for that cough. But other than that, excellent multi-tool. I highly recommend it. And the link will be in the description if anybody's interested in it onto Amazon. And that's it. So questions or comments, leave them below and I will answer them as soon as I can. If you count all the bits and a reversible precision driver, you're looking at 27 in one multi-tool. You know, so you got that gut hook. It's good for camping, hunting, backpacking, hiking. Actually, I use it at work. It's a great multi-tool for work. It's got everything I need, and then some. Specifically, that precision driver set has helped out a huge amount. Excuse me. Of course, you got the sheath, comes in the box, and you got the warranty. Now, I don't know if yours comes with it, but I got a patch, which I collect some patches, so this, excuse me. So I don't know if it comes with it, but mine's got one, so that's kind of cool. My apologies for the coughing. I'm getting over, I think, bronchitis. So I just threw a Rocktol in real quick. And my apologies for the coughing fit. I am still sick, so all that extra talking makes it difficult for me to breathe. So, long story short, really good multi-tool, highly recommended. Have any questions or comments, leave them below and I will answer them as soon as I can. And my apologies for coughing on the video. I was trying not to do that. Excuse me. And that's it. So thank you for watching and have a glorious day.